Welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, presented by 8th and Walton, the premier destination for supplier development. And sponsored in part by Dun & Bradstreet, the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. I'm Andy Schuch, and thank you for joining us. Setting and following rules is vital to a company's success. Suppliers have product labeling and manufacturing requirements, and retailers follow rules set by the Securities Exchange Commission, the Food and Drug Administration, and the Federal Trade Commission. Consumers might be less regulated, but they certainly can't walk out of the store with a product unless they want to deal with the wrath of the greeters who are now again at the front of the stores. Today's episode is about such guidelines. Marshall Saviers of Sage Partners gives us steps to follow when leasing commercial real estate. Mach 1 discusses ways to optimize your 401k, and Louis Patler of B.I.T. Group offers guidelines for innovators from his upcoming book, Make Your Own Ways.
We're lucky enough to be back today with Louis Patler, president of the B.I.T. Group, one of the 20 great thought leaders in innovation in the country today, on the reading list for Steve Jobs, New York Times best-selling author. Louis, thanks for coming back.
Thanks very much. Pleasure.
Glad to have you. So last time we were talking a little bit about innovation and innovators, and I've kind of alluded to this idea of the surfer metaphor and catching the big wave and how that's relevant to innovation. I'd be interested in hearing more about that.
Well, you know, we've been doing this 20-year-long now project on innovation and innovators, and sometimes the data we got surprised us. And one of the things was that amongst innovators that we tracked and interviewed, metaphors were oftentimes taken literally. Metaphors were treated as facts. So, for example, even today and through this whole 20-year period, business is often described as waves. There's a wave of this and a wave of that, and big waves are coming in and things are changing and so on. So we decided to take the innovator approach, and we did a series of interviews of big wave surfers.
Right.
And these are not the gnarly dude, grease up on the beach surfers. These are the guys and women who go out in 30, 50, 60-foot waves.
Sure.
And we talked to them about, you know, what's the preparation and what's the skills they need and what are the tools in their toolbox. And came up with this set of 10 surfers rules that we call them, and it's part of our training program. So the first surfer rule, for example, is learn to swim.
Right, that's a good place to start.
Duh, as simple as it sounds.
Sure.
Learn to swim.
Sure.
The next one is the waves are in the water.
Right.
So you're not going to get what you need on the beach.
Yeah.
The third one is decide to ride. Once you get out in the water, what are you going to do out there? You're going to boogie board, you're going to swim, you're going to ride in an air mattress, you're going to surf, whatever it is.
And is that kind of the point of get out there and do something?
Absolutely.
Try something, see if it's going to work or not.
Yes. Yeah. And another one of the surface rules to that point is expect to wipe out daily.
Right.
You go into
embrace
surfing,
failure, right?
Embrace failure and recover from it and go back in the face of it.
Makes sense.
And the next wave could be the better wave, the best one.
Sure.
All the way through the 10th surfer rule, which is stay stoked.
Yeah.
And passion and energy is important in any business for anybody, any employee. If you don't have that way to re-energize, I've always not been fond of the term time management. I prefer to talk about energy management. So just like our cell phones wind down, so do people. So we need to recharge our batteries.
Right, so you take this sort of zen of surfing and really realize it's not just an art or a mysticism, it's a very practical, scientific approach to iteration.
Yes.
Which plays to your model of prototype, iterate, and transform.
Yes, if I were to summarize in 3 words the nature of innovation, it is those 3 things in any order. That's what our data showed, which surprised me a bit. Prototyping has been around. People talk about it all the time as part of the innovation process. Doing iterations, tinkering with, messing with, changing around. That's been a part of the process. Transformation is the third way we talk about it, is transformation via simplicity, so simplifying.
Right.
But those 3 elements are found in just about everything we unearthed about innovation, and in no particular order. Prototype, iterate, transformation via simplicity.
And by breaking it down in that simple way, it takes something that's oftentimes viewed as kind of complex and puts it in a framework that people can understand and then begin to act on it.
Hopefully, and you know, innovation, to my mind, is an idea taken to fruition.
Right.
It's an idea that's implemented. And it's not different, therefore, from a problem that gets solved.
Right.
So if you think of innovation as chronic problem solving,
Right.
I think you make it much more of a democratic ideal and attribute that anybody can avail themselves of.
So there's this assertion, and I'd be really interested in your thoughts, that large companies have neither the cost structure or the agility to be as innovative as they might be. So in order to address that, they can do open innovation where they draw in university researchers or other small organizations that are maybe more nimble and agile. What are your thoughts about that? Is that valid or not?
I think it's valid. Those are two tools in the toolbox of a large entity, but that's part of the general large corporate attitude. If you don't have it, you buy it.
Right.
That's good to a point, but the lifespan of what you buy is oftentimes short. So the other ingredient that our data showed is you've got to train your employees, and a much wider band of employees than you might think, in the basics of problem solving and innovation and the skills that go with that.
So this whole idea of talent development, attraction, retention, talent development, the big piece of that is making that part of the culture. Be a constant problem solver, I would guess.
Right.
And reward that as well.
We found in our data a distinction between a company of innovators as separate from a culture of innovation.
Got it.
You need both, but your best bet is to start by building a company of innovators, individual contributors who collectively and cumulatively over time create a culture of innovation. If you only set out to build this abstract notion of a culture of innovation, our data shows it rarely works out that way.
So we got about a minute left. I know you've got some other work coming. Tell us what's in the pipeline for you, to use another surfer metaphor. What's coming down the road in terms of new work that you've got planned?
Well, we're going to just got a new book contract.
Congratulations. That's great.
So the actual surfers rules that you began this interview with has become the basis of a new book, which will be out in spring of 2016, called Make Your Own Waves.
Do you have to do a lot of surfing in order to make that work?
No, fortunately, because I'm not particularly good myself, but I do understand the mindset that goes with it. So no, but the other parts of it are we're really committed to making available to all organizations, large and small, the ability to train their people in the elements of and the basics of becoming more of an innovator, each and every individual.
Well, we really appreciate what you do. The inspiration that you apply allows the companies and individuals to aspire to really reinvent themselves. So thank you for all of that. We're out of time today, but stay tuned for the remainder of Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
Today, investors are in search of more options with their investments. If you are 59 and a half, you can often roll your 401k over to a traditional IRA. This will give you more investment options. Curious? Call Mach 1 Financial now to see if you qualify.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today.
I would recommend 8th and Walton to other suppliers because from my experience talking to other suppliers, they were even learning new ideas or just new and better business practices.
Most people have little time for training, and so 8th and Walton is a perfect opportunity to send your new employees to understand the retailing system. And again, because trainers were suppliers, they know the how and the why, so they become very valuable very quickly.
Are you a single parent struggling to meet your family's needs? Single Parent Scholarship Fund is here to help. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas helps hundreds of single parents get an education. By providing scholarships and support, a brighter future is right around the corner for you and your family.
We should know, in 2007, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in organizational management. Single Parent Scholarship Fund helped make my dream a reality. My kids are so proud of me, and now they declare themselves as college bound.
We have David Lee with Mach 1 Financials with us today to talk about 401ks. Welcome, David.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
So why are 401ks of particular interest to suppliers and especially people here in Northwest Arkansas?
Yeah, great question. The data shows that the typical supplier changes jobs every 2.5 years. So that creates a unique opportunity for them to roll over their 401k that they have with their old employer before they change that job.
Okay, talk about that. What is rollover? What does that mean?
Yeah, so when you have a job with whatever the company is that you work for, you have an employer-sponsored plan, otherwise known as a 401k. You get to put part of your salary into that plan on a tax-deferred basis, and you have different set investment options within that plan for how you can invest those dollars.
Those are usually pretty limited.
Yes, the options are usually very limited, very vanilla, I guess you would say. But when you change jobs, that is one of the opportunities that you have to roll over that 401k, which, to answer your question, means that you can transfer it to an IRA or a self-directed IRA, which gives you more control over the investments within that plan.
Now, you can also take it to the next company you're going
Yes.
with as well, right?
Yes.
But what are some of the cons with that? Why wouldn't a supplier want to just take it to the next company?
Okay. Number one, you wouldn't want to do that because you don't have those wide-ranging investment options within that new 401k plan. You still have the somewhat vanilla investment options available within that 401k. And until you roll over a 401k to an IRA where it's a little more self-directed, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know the investment options that are not available to you, such as high probability option strategies or tactical or hedged equity, which we won't get into all that today, but some very unique, very sophisticated strategies that are not available to you within a 401k, and you don't even know that you don't have that available to you unless you do roll it over.
So let's say that the supplier leaves a company, goes to a new company, and they leave it at the old company. Is that an option as well?
That is an option as well. It's not one that we would recommend, though.
Sure.
Because, again, you've still got those old investment options.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. We are not recommending that you don't participate in your new company's 401k plan.
Right.
Because your company will typically provide you a 401k match. Well, that's essentially free money.
Exactly.
They're matching every dollar that you put into it up to a certain threshold. We definitely advocate that you take advantage of that match, and we call it maxing your match. So if your company matches you to 6%, make sure you put in 6% of your salary into your 401k
easily.
plan.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely participate in your new company's plan, but roll over your old plan so that you can have some of these unique strategies that you're not aware of.
So if you've maybe had 2 or 3 different jobs and you've got money sitting in different companies' plans right now, what you're saying is let's take all of that, put it together, and then you can manage it. And
Absolutely.
help people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We call those orphaned 401ks.
Orphaned 401ks.
Where maybe you've changed jobs several times over several years. You might have a 401k at each of these other companies.
Sure.
Now you can roll all those over, combine them into one self-directed IRA, and have a really unique strategy, a unique plan for how you would invest that new IRA that's completely different from what you would have available to you in your 401k.
Well, and I know personally having it all in one place, it's much easier to manage, to be able to look at it and not having to check different places and try to remember where you had money.
Yes, that's true. It makes it easier for you to manage and know where everything is. But even more importantly than that, in my opinion, it makes it easier for you to have a coordinated plan for those assets to work together, because you want to have some that's maybe more aggressive, some that's maybe more conservative. If you've got them all in a bunch of different places, it can be be difficult to know how are these working together and what are the different pieces doing for me as part of an overall coordinated effort.
So what's the lead time for a 401k? If I leave my company, how much time do I have to get the money or to move it? Or
when you leave your company, we would recommend that you call an advisor, call us, call whoever it is that you're interested in working with, and start the process rolling immediately to roll that 401k over to a new plan. Because if you don't do it sooner, you're likely to forget and you're likely to miss out on your window of opportunity.
Right. So how much of an impact can having somebody managing your money versus just kind of letting it go vanilla? What are the differences?
Yeah. In other words, what's the value that an advisor brings to the table? Number one, I would say risk mitigation. That's where we really are valuable to a client, is reducing your risk in market when markets inevitably become volatile. Like in 2008, the market lost 40%. Well, if you lose 40, 50% of your money in a market correction, you got to earn 100% just to get back to even.
Where we were, yeah.
Well, it can take years to do that. So we focus on mitigating the loss, and we do that through some very sophisticated options trading strategies using things called put options, which again we won't get into today. But we have ways where we can define the maximum risk that you can lose in a down market by hedging, much like you would insure your home. If your home burns down, you know that you're not going to lose everything because why? Because you've got it
Right,
insured.
you've got it insured.
Yeah. There's a way to do that in the market. Most people don't know how. You certainly can't do it within a 401k plan. You have to be outside of a 401k and a self-directed IRA to make that possible.
Well, David, there's a lot of young people out there that that are probably watching this show today that are going to be changing jobs, especially if it's every 2.5 years. They'll be changing jobs a number of different times.
Yeah.
And knowing about this option is great for them to understand how to roll over 401ks and how all of that works. But if they want to know more about this or more information, what do they do?
I would recommend they go to our website, www.mach1financial.com. That's MACH-1financial.com. And you can obtain information there. You can also call our office and you can get more information from us on how this process works. It's really not very complicated. It's very easy to do. We can show you how to make it very easy and safe.
Well, it's just a matter of sitting down with you and helping you through and understand exactly what you have or don't have and kind of go through the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, David, thank you so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back.
Kstack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, Kstack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. Kstack, retail logistics is what we do. Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today.
GigWalk is transforming how work gets done. As the leading mobile workforce management platform, GigWalk provides companies with mobile tools and a data-driven approach to improving business efficiency. Leading brands and retailers use GigWalk to manage their field teams and to mobilize 750,000 GigWalkers to collect data intelligence about their business and brands. Are the shelves stocked? Are my products priced competitively? Are the correct promotions in place? Visit us at gigwalk.com to learn more. GigWalk, make work better.
My colleagues and I were lucky enough to have a custom course put together for us by Ethan Walton and Iris, our instructor. It focused on all the different aspects of what an analyst might need from retailing to work with Walmart. I think what surprised me most is that there were so many things that I had not been using in retailing that would be valuable for me and that I hadn't attempted to use yet. And also just some tips and shortcuts. Iris has a lot of experience and she knows how to help you find things that are going to help you do your work.
We have Marshall Saviers from Sage Partners. Sage Partners is a commercial real estate company in Northwest Arkansas that represents many of the large suppliers. Welcome, Marshall.
Thank you.
Yeah, so glad you could make it today. So what are the trends in commercial real estate in Northwest Arkansas like?
Oh, there are quite a few trends going on right now. You know, the market is evolving to a more traditional suburban office market. So you have more multi-tenant buildings, less single-story, more residential-style buildings. So what a lot of tenants are going for now are more building amenities, a lot more natural light, more natural efficiencies within the space, so that it is a more quality space that creates more productivity.
Let's talk about that trend. When did that really start happening? Because that's not the way it started here.
No, it's certainly not.
Yeah.
It's really within the last 4 or 5 years. And, you know, again, it's something that seems to be the trend across the country where tenants are wanting to, you know, make the space a more productive one and a more efficient one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, good. So what areas within the retail community are expanding the most right now?
Really, technology seems to be the biggest. Those are the companies such as Cognizant and Infosys and Tata who are helping both Walmart and suppliers from the technology front. They're growing quite a bit, and the vendor-to-vendor community is growing quite a bit. So the marketing companies, the advertising companies, everyone that's here to support the vendor community. Because for the most part, it seems like the suppliers that are here servicing Walmart have their offices. They might be growing, but they have their offices here. But it's more the tertiary stuff that seems to be growing now.
What are some things that a tenant might want in his space?
Again, I hit on some of this a little bit earlier, but natural light, something, that seems, some of this is going to seem really obvious, but but it's something that's true. High ceilings, a lot of tenants now are going for the more industrial type look. We were involved in a project on Central Avenue where a converted warehouse was turned into office space. It's got high ceilings, it's got a lot of natural light coming in, and it leased up rather quickly because the tenants wanted that look and wanted that feel.
So sometimes the actual building itself motivates people to get into it more just because of the way it's set up.
No doubt.
Okay. What else are you finding as far as parking, security, cameras, all that kind of
Since spaces are becoming more and more efficient, parking is becoming more of an issue. So buildings, again, this gets back to the evolution of the space. The new buildings that are being built have a lot more parking associated with them because tenants are becoming more and more dense. They're wanting to put more technology and infrastructure into their space. In order to do that, they offset costs by going into smaller spaces, more open format.
Let's talk a little bit more about these spaces and how they're different in Northwest Arkansas than maybe they are in the rest of the country. What is that?
Primarily, it's a showroom component that a lot of suppliers have, where they're
the showroom is what?
They're showing their space for the Walmart buyers who come in and see a mock-up of how their product will look on the shelves.
Or they might have a big screen like this behind us.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting more and more technology-driven as well.
Okay. And different than maybe what it would be in New York or other places around the country.
Exactly. So something that happens here when we're dealing with space is companies use a metric to understand how many spaces they need per square foot. That gets thrown out the window here somewhat because of the showroom component, which can be big depending on the size of the product.
Sure.
Right? So the bigger the product, the bigger the showroom needs to be.
So when you look at Northwest Arkansas, are you just looking at Bentonville, Rogers? Does it get down into Springdale, Fayetteville? Does it go any further than that? What's kind of the area that
it's really primarily Bentonville and Rogers. You have P&G and Fayetteville, right? Right. But beyond that, there are some smaller ones here and there, but 95% are in Bentonville and Rogers.
Well, and even P&G, when you look at them, I mean, they've got their office down in Fayetteville, but they've also got a different office up here for technology and some of those things.
Exactly. So if you have a significant presence, you're going to have a presence in Bentonville or Rogers.
So take me through the process.
Yeah, okay.
Let's take a small supplier. Let's say they're putting together a team of 4 people. And they want to move in from houses and they want to move into an office space building, something like that. Take us through that process, what they would be doing and how they would go.
The first thing I say when they give us a call is this is going to take longer than you think.
Okay.
So
are they thinking a month?
They think they can be in yesterday, right?
Okay.
But the problem with that is you've got to, so the first thing we do in the process, we send them a market survey. Say, hey, here's what's out there fitting your criteria. And even if it doesn't fit it exactly, we'll show them.
Market survey, all the different spots
exactly.
that they
You could have depending on the size. Right.
Okay.
But a smaller office, you're going to have a lot more options. There's a lot less as you get bigger. So first we get a market survey. We whittle it down to probably 5 or 6 that we want to tour.
Okay.
We go out on a market tour. We look at spaces. And then after that, we send out requests for proposals. We try to understand what the economic terms and the terms would be with the lease, right? And then we lay it all out for them and try to find them the best deal. That's where the process, all that goes rather quickly. What starts taking time is the planning process, the space planning process, also the lease negotiation. So you get a space plan completed, then you understand what the terms can be because of the build out, et cetera. Then after that, you go into lease negotiation. That can take some time with attorneys involved. And then after that, you sign a lease, and then it could take anywhere from 60 to 90 days to build out the space.
All in all, how much time?
6 months is on average.
6 months.
So we think in long term, we can condense that to 3 months, but it's really, you've got to be quick.
So Marshall, what are the 5 areas that suppliers and service providers should be looking for when they're looking for office space?
Sure. Yeah, the first is rather obvious, but it's location, specifically access to I-49 and other major arteries in the area. That's a big deal. Second is building amenities. What's around you? Can you go anywhere for lunch? Third is building ownership and management. These are the people you'll be dealing with day to day, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable with them. Fourth is space, efficiency, and feel. You want to make sure that your space works for you long term. And 5 is other lease terms such as parking, which can be a big issue down the road if you don't address them early on.
Well, Marshall, this has been very interesting. Finding out just how suppliers get into this area.
Yeah.
And we continue to grow in Northwest Arkansas, and I'm sure you'll continue to help suppliers in different ways.
I appreciate it.
All right, Marshall, thanks for coming in. Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back.
Mach 1 Financial Group has moved to Bentonville. Now we're easier to find and even better equipped to assist you with your financial needs. Visit us at our new location, 408 North Walton Boulevard, and check out our state-of-the-art Lunch and Learn conference room.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
8th and Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.8thandwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart. Sales analysts, build your skills fast with 8th and Walton's core classes. Order them together and save 10%. Go to 8thandwalton.com/classes.
Next week is part 2 of our Made in the USA special. We'll report from Crossmark Center for Collaboration next door to the Walmart home office and speak with candidates eagerly awaiting a buyer's meeting that could change their lives forever. It's Walmart's second Made in the USA open call, and thousands will be in attendance. Join us and be in on the action. Our thanks to all of today's guests. From all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, thanks for watching.
Our guests enjoy staying at the 21C Museum Hotel and hosting dinner, meetings, and product launches there.
I walk in every day and I just take a deep breath and I'm like, I can't believe where it's gone, where it's come to. Blood, sweat, and tears, and then some, everything to build the company where it's at. I'm Billy Westbrook, and Scrub Blade is an idea I had. I wondered, why don't wiper blades scrub your windshield? If they're going back and forth, why don't they scrub the windshield while they're doing it? You know, I was making barely any money to survive. I was living on an air mattress at a friend's house, completely stripped down to nothing. It's just me. I was like, I'm going to give this 100% and see what happens with it. And that was in 2006. It's 2014 now, and I've never stopped. In the journey of Scrub Blade, we had a huge opportunity to do a big test with Walmart. And if I would have worked all those 8 years and neglected my business credit, I wouldn't have had the biggest opportunity of our journey. Dun & Bradstreet is a huge partnership for Scrub Blade. They share the knowledge really well, go through your credit rating with you and explain what this means and what that means. We're starting a big test with AutoZone, and I mean, they're the largest automotive retailer in the world. It's going to take our company to the next level and beyond. What drives me, what keeps me going, is my family. Yeah. My job is to take care of my family, and it gives me a lot of pride to know that I can do that. And at the same instance, Dun & Bradstreet is taking care of me, or my entity, Scrub Blade. I mean, it's still a small company, but big in my eyes. We want to have fun with it. We want to bring people in along for the journey. You know, life's a journey. Get a clearer view. That's what Scrub Blade's tagline is, and it means everything.